Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is now in the books. And I haven't made any prediction videos or anything about this fight because I've been very busy. But this fight was crazy. Tyson Fury exceeded my expectations so much. Going to this fight, I said Wilder was going to knock him out. I thought Wilder was going to beat him by via knockout. And like we saw in the fight, Wilder was extremely close to knocking Fury out twice in this fight. Fury's boxing ability was so good. Because before this fight, I always said, to be fair, Wilder was throwing a lot of wild punches. And it did make Fury look a bit... It made him look very, very good because they were very predictable. But Fury to go 12 rounds at a high pace, keep it up, and go after everything he's been through. He's only had 2 fights against 2 journeymen, and he came back and performed the way he did today. It was great. I'll get into the results right at the end of the video. Right at the start of the video. The first rounds were a bit cagey. Fury, one of Fury's best things in this fight was his feints. Fury was feinting a lot and was offsetting Wilder a lot. Fury kept feinting and moving to the left and jittering and made Wilder have to double think every time he threw a punch. It made him have to reset every single second because when Fury's jittering, like we saw in the fight, he's basically getting out of dodge for a punch from the calm, and he's basically making Wilder throw punches a bit less. I did forget to also mention Wilder's costume was fucking amazing. He had this gold jewelry mask on his face. He had this nice grand entrance. The presentation was really, really good. Fury came out all green from the start. Wilder looked very nervous. He looked like he came into the fight. He looked stumped. He looked nervous from round 1. He even said in the post fight. I didn't get to really hear it because I was with a group of 20 people. It was hard to hear. But he said he knows he started slow. But at the start, Wilder looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He looked like he was nervous. He was throwing punches. He was setting them up. He was. Sometimes when you're nervous, you tend to do too much. You tend to overdo everything, and that's what Wilder was doing. He was overdoing. He was throwing punches. Maybe he shouldn't have been throwing punches in that fight. But Fury was fainting. Fury was in Wilder's head. Fury was in Wilder's head in this fight, especially in the first 6-7 rounds, because Fury kept taunting him, and you could see it was getting into Wilder's head. He kept being taunted, he kept getting moved, and Wilder he just didn't know what to do. The first couple, he didn't know what to do, and I forget what round it was where the first knockout occurred, but it was somewhere in the middle round, so it might be around 7 or 8. 5, 6, 7 or 8. One of those middle rounds where Fury was blocking. Because during this fight, Wilder missed a lot. Wilder was throwing his right hand more than I've ever seen him throw a right hand in his life. I've ever seen him throw. And he was missing a lot of them. It was crazy. Tyson Fury is so elusive. He was so good. But to be fair, like I said earlier, Deontay Wilder was very predictable. I've always said this thing about Wilder. He's got, I don't say one trick pony, but with Wilder, it's 1-2. Wilder doesn't throw a 3, doesn't throw a 4. He could either throw a jab. He rarely throws a double jab. It will be a jab, and then you throw right. His punches are predictable. Fury got out of the way of a lot of them, because if that anybody else and Wilder was throwing punches like that, they would have got hit. A lot of boxers would have got hit. Obviously, styles make fights, but wow, Fury was just magnificent. Before this fight, I was saying to people, I still think Fury's a bit unproven. Because the Klitschko fight, although he won it, he didn't super impress me. And he looked great, but in terms of, it's hard to pin. He did really well in that fight, but then he beat Derek Chisora. But I feel like he hasn't faced a lot of high-level opponents. And this just cements how good Fury is he's even for a guy who came off what he came off and he performed that well, he's just so good. Then they knocked down the card in the middle rounds, and Wilder was throwing punches at Fury, and he hit him with one, and Fury backed up a little bit into the ropes, and he dodged 3 punches, and Fury moved to his, I think it was his right. Then Wilder clocked him on the top of the head, and it was a surprise, because when I first saw it in real time, I thought Fury slipped, but you can see Fury was a bit disappointed that he got dropped, because you can see his face a little bit. But Fury got up, he recovered fast. Wilder sort of came at him hard. You know how Wilder he is. I always said Wilder is not a wild fighter. He's wild when he hurts you. And when you're hurt, Wilder came out, he started throwing, and Fury quickly neutralized it. It was still going on. Fury was just doing a boxing clinic on Wilder. The class in boxing ability was so wide here, it was crazy. Fury was just, again, throwing feints throughout the whole fight. Taunting Wilder. In between rounds, he put his hand up. He'd be sticking his tongue out at Wilder. He'd be talking shit in his ear. He called him a dosser at the end of one of the rounds. It was crazy. And it came to the 12th round, and I sort of said, Fury has got this. Fury has got this as long as he can stay here in this round. And I said to my friend also, I said Wilder to sort of come out a lot more aggressive in this round because he may think he's losing. And that's what he sort of did. And he knocked Fury down with this dirty right punch. And the way Fury, I think it was a left, sorry. And the way Fury went down, I thought he was out. And I would not be surprised if Fury was legitimately knocked out for like the first 4 seconds of that count. Because he had looked like he was completely out cold. And I feel like Fury, he's so mentally strong. He had all that adrenaline in him that it got him back up. And all praise to the referee. The referee was really good. The referee didn't really get involved in the fight. There wasn't that much holding too much, but the referee was really good. Even one thing I really like about the referee, he gave Fury a chance. The referee gave Fury a chance to get up after this. The referee didn't just count Fury out straight away because Fury looked like he was out. He looked like he was completely out. And the referee let him get a 10 count. And Fury got up in 9 seconds. All credit to the referee for letting that go on because a lot of referees would have just stopped it straight there. But he allowed Fury the chance to get up and win, or we saw later, draw this fight. So all credit to the referee. After Wilder knocked down Fury, Wilder did this funny dance. No, sometimes when Wilder knocks people, he does a silly dance with his shoulders. Wilder was so happy. Wilder literally thought he had to fight one. Then Fury just got up and I was thinking, what the fuck? Because of all my friends and everyone was going crazy. And when Fury got up, it was just crazy that he got. I don't know how he did it. I need to watch this fight in American commentary. I watched it on BT Sports, and I think the BT Sports commentators are trash. But I digress. Yeah, he attacked. He literally did. This is a windmill. Windmill Wilder came out again, and Wilder was throwing so many punches, and you could see Fury was still completely buzzed. He was still completely concussed at this point, but he somehow got his bearings. I think Fury took maybe about 45 seconds to a minute to get his bearings back. He's so headstrong because I don't know how after that knockdown he looked like he was fucking knocked out cold for the first 3 seconds. I'm not sure how the hell he was able to recover after a minute. After a minute, he was back boxing again. He was back throwing feints again. And then the fight ended. And I felt like Fury would have just edged it by a round or two. Not a round or two, maybe about 2-3 rounds. I wasn't really judging it. I thought he edged it by 2 or 3 rounds. Because other than the 2 knockdown rounds, so that basically counts as 4 rounds there. I don't think Wilder really won a round. He might have won a round here and there, but I also knew that it's in America and you always get home advantage. And if any rounds are close, the judges are going to give it to the home fighter. One judge gave the first 4 rounds to Wilder, which is completely crazy. I think one scorecard was like 114-11 to Wilder, and I was like, what the fuck? What was he watching? It was crazy. But it was a magnificent fight. I'm going to make a video concerning Anthony Joshua and these 2 fighters later, right after this video. I need to go and eat because I'm hungry. But it was such a good fight. After they embraced a lot, they were hugging, they were talking to each other. Wilder was just giving them praise. Fury said that he won the fight. And I'm not going to call it a robbery. I get it. I get it's a home fight. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it was a draw. I was saying to my friend I said next to him, I said to him, I better not see no bullshit draw. But I also wasn't surprised that was a draw because home fighter, close round, always gonna go to Wilder. He got 2 knockdowns. That 1 knockdown on the final round ruined it. If he was able to somehow hold it and not get knocked down at 12 round, he'd be champion right now. But yep, a draw on both the records. No one's went in this fight. Hopefully we can get a rematch. Cause someone can put it down below if I know Fury got out and Wilder got out and Wilder said that he doesn't know he's fighting next, but he doesn't mind fighting Fury again. I'm not sure what Fury said, because in the room a lot of people, everyone was talking. I couldn't really hear what Fury was saying, but if anyone knows what he said, can you put down below, please? Thank you very much. But yeah, man. Oh man, this was a great fight. I was on edge the whole time. It was just such a great fight, man. And man, it's gonna be interesting when Joshua faces these two guys, because styles make fights, obviously, and it'll be Joshua's style is completely different to both of theirs. They're all completely different styles. Like I said, Wilder's a bit more, not wild, but he just, I don't know how to describe his style. I would say loose. Loose and rugged. Not rugged. I wouldn't say rugged. More loose. Fury is just very unorthodox. So is Wilder. But okay, Wilder and Fury are both unorthodox, but in their own way. And Joshua is very orthodox. He's a very orthodox type of fighter. So it'll be interesting to see when Wilder faces Joshua, for example. I still think to this day that Joshua's gonna have a way harder time fighting Deontay Wilder than he will with Fury. But I digress on that. I talk about it in another video. Great fight. I can't even put into words how good and proud I am of Fury for doing that. Fury really impressed me way more than I thought he would in this fight. I put bets on like 6 different rounds for Wilder to knock Fury out. I really thought Wilder was going to knock him out, because based on his efforts of Fury and Pianetta fight, man, Fury didn't look good. But in this fight, Fury just looked great. He looked fucking great, and I commend him, man. I really, really commend the guy. He's a great boxer. Wilder, he hits hard. And Wilder hits hard. It's funny because I've never seen Wilder, in there's one round where Wilder got hit and he went wild and started throwing so many rights, and he kept missing. I've never seen one guy miss so many fucking punches in the fight. Wilder just kept missing these straight rights, but they eventually landed. I said to my friend, they will land eventually, because Fury was dodging, he kept moving to one side. He kept moving his head to, I think it was his left. Fury would keep moving his head, or was either his right or left, I can't remember right now. But he kept moving his head to one side, and I said eventually Wilder's going to get close enough to clock him. And he did twice in that fight. And it was kind of similar, they were kind of similar knockouts. Fury's head was like in the same spot. He kept moving it to one spot. I said eventually Wilder's going to clock him with a punch, and Fury's not going to be able to telegraph it. Fury was good though. You see the art of boxing there, where you see fighters that Wilder was missing. He was missing Fury by a hair. Literally missing the guy by a hair. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the fight. Do you think the scoring was correct? I think it was correct. Yeah. Thanks for watching the video. I hope I didn't miss anything out. I'm trying to figure out if I missed anything out. There were 2 knockdowns, the costumes, the draw, post match. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything out. If I did, yeah, let me know down below. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.